You know what the craziest thing about being in your 20s is? That ever since I've entered my 20s, casually the topic of marriage is discussed, like my marriage. Like casually anyone and everyone around me is just talking about, oh, when you get married, you'll get married in a couple of years, then you'll know. As if it's definitive. Like, how will I get married? I am not dating anyone. I have no intentions of getting married in the near future. It's just crazy how everyone's just casually talking about it.
And you are so young. That's like child marriage.
You know, as much as we talk about it, we really don't realize how on a day-to-day basis this is so real.
Actually, I think we were having a lot of conversations very recently and we were just realizing how it's so evident, but we just walk by it so casually these days.
You know, this is something I've really noticed with our friends, even with myself, that the older I'm getting, the more pressure we take on ourselves to find a partner.
Yeah, everyone is so scared. What if I don't find someone? What if I don't find someone? And I'm like, you're just 22. Why are you worried?
But these are the same people who also will tell you that, no, I don't want to get married until I'm 30. I have no plans of getting married, including myself. I've really thought to myself that why am I stressing about finding a partner when I don't intend on marrying before 30? Why am I so stressed at 24?
I feel like the society has conditioned us in a way to think that by a certain age you have to be married.
And you know, it's so crazy because of this conditioning, we just grew up kind of standing against it. That no, I don't want to fall in this rut. I don't want to become my mother. I don't want to get married by a certain age. I do not fall into the trap that institution holds for me. That we just kind of end up becoming rebellious.
Yeah.
But without our own knowledge, we want that for ourselves.
And even more messed up thing is that what we are doing right now is hated by a lot of people, especially people who are adults, unlike mothers, I feel. Especially because I remember when you were in your relationship, how your boyfriend was like, but my mother won't like what you're doing.
But your mother was also liking my reels and commenting on it. Just saying.
Which is just very weird because even the person I was dating long back, they were like, you know what, my family won't be okay with what you're doing. First of all, are you okay? Great. Why should I be, getting their permission to do what I do?
You know, as if it wasn't pressure in itself that we have to convince our parents, our family, our society, our relatives to be okay with our lifestyle, with what we want to do with ourselves. Now we also have to think about our partner and their family, and it's normal. My ex have made this whole fuss about, do you think what you're doing is right? I don't know if my family is going to be accepting of this line of work. Exact words used. And I was just like, what line of work? What do you mean? What are you implying? What do you think I do? Making reels in front of a camera, what is so wrong about it? And obviously he did not have a reply to it. And at that point, I did not take it this lightly. At that point, even I was thinking that, oh, I will not be accepted by my partner's family. But now looking back, do I really need to be accepted by their family? If they do, then well and good. But is that something I need to be stressing about?
I think that's something all women are forced to stress about at this point. Will my partner's family be okay with what I am doing in life?
Yeah, and it's crazy because with our own families, we kind of play hide and seek and live a certain way without letting them know because it's difficult to explain it to them. Now we have to create an entire new personality that fits another person's life.
Because when it comes to marriage, I feel men want a pure, obedient woman who is earns well, cooks well, will take care of him, mother him.
The idea of a pure woman.
Exactly. And I hate that because I've heard a lot of men say this when I ask them, what do you think about marriage? And they'll be like, you know what, I'm not going to marry her and all. I want a good woman. Then why did you date her for 5 years?
I think men in our own circles kind of casually pass these comments that, yeah, she's good to date, but not to end up with.
I hate when men say that.
Do you think you're good to end up with? Like, have you seen yourself? Have you heard yourself speak? A woman standing you, a woman being okay with the way you speak, that itself is a huge thing.
And then they will be like, I want someone like my mother. First of all, they're glorifying their mother's bad lives instead of making it better.
I think it's just, I'm just so sick and tired of men just glorifying their mother's lives, because your mother is sure an independent woman. She is working a job, she's coming back home, then she's making chai for your dad, then she's making dinner for you, then she's packing your tiffin, sending you to school. Like, why are you glorifying it? Like, why is it that she's taking two gender roles?
Do you think you can live her life?
I don't want to live that life.
No, I'm not asking you. I think as a man, do you think a man can live their own mother's life? They want someone exactly like their mother, but do you think you can do the same?
No, they want to live their father's lives. That is why they want someone like their mother. But as a modern woman, we've seen our mothers like juggle a job and household work.
And also their in-laws.
Oh my God.
I feel so sorry for my mom actually. I feel so bad for her because the things she had to go through with my in-law, like my dad's parents, is so unfortunate. And I keep asking her, why do you have to go through it? Like, why are you putting yourself through it? Like, these are your best years and you are just getting yelled at by some woman you have to call mom.
Yeah, I think when I was dating, you asked me something, like VP asked me something like, would you call your partner's parents mom and dad? And at that point, I was obviously blind in love. So I was like, yeah, what do you mean? I will definitely call them mom, dad. And then she's like, but they are not the ones who raised you. They are someone else's parents. You can always be respectful, but don't you think you need boundaries? And now the older that I'm growing, I realize that, yeah, that is important. We want everything that the Western life has to offer us, but we selectively want our Indian values. And these Indian values are only catering to the men.
Dude, I genuinely feel marriage is only beneficial for men. It is glorified only because it is a system where you can control women, at least in India.
I think that is very, very true. Like, apart from the tax and insurance benefits, what benefits are you getting out of marrying?
I don't know, if you divorce, you'll get alimony, I guess. But yeah, that's what, it's just crazy. And I also feel that Indian parenting has a lot to do with this.
Definitely, because how a boy is raised in India is so different from how a girl is raised.
Yeah, like in my own house, I feel it was very different how I was raised and how my brother was raised. The rules for me were very different from how it was for him. Like, I had to reach home at a certain time, but he can stay home till, like, he can go out at any time. He can come back at any time. But I had to be home at 6.
And I think it like really reflects on our career choices, what we're doing with our lives, how we're living as well. Because I've really had this battle in my own head that if I was a man and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, will my family question me as much? Because the first time my parents found out about my Instagram and my reels going viral and everything, they showed up to Bangalore. And it was such a disastrous Diwali evening. Because my parents and the rest of my family are just sitting in a round table thing. They're like having a very emotional conversation with me that, you know, whatever you're doing, it's not right. It's attracting all the wrong people and this is not a good image for you. And my mom literally had a breakdown in front of me saying, which man from a good family is going to marry you?
Yeah, that is their whole concern. Like, whatever you're doing, it will be okay as long as a man agrees to marry you.
As if marrying me...
It's like their sole duty in life.
Yeah, sole duty in life as well. But someone marrying me is like a favor they're doing to me. Like, bro, I'm okay if you don't marry me. I can take care of myself.
Yeah, and I feel like even in like from our childhood, in Indian houses, I feel feminism is a luxury. Because I don't think there is equality when it comes to rebelling against someone who is keeping a roof over your head. Like, you can't really do that. You don't have that luxury in Indian houses because anger is something that is only for men.
Yeah. It's just, we are trained to not get angry. Like, I would really get these comments that, you know, don't act like your father. You can't get angry like that. Like, which man is going to tolerate you with your anger issues is something I heard growing up. And I was like, I don't care if a man is going to tolerate me
or not. Like, is a woman's life only so that a man can tolerate her.
And the funniest part is men are just so done with listening to these comments. Like every time a woman talks about something like this, they're like, how much are you going to talk about all of this? Just like, we're done hearing all of this. You've heard us talk so much about it and you don't do anything to change it.
I think it's very ingrained in us also that,
But can I ask you something? Like, do you think in a marriage or a relationship where a woman is earning more than a man is going to be okay with it?
It depends from men to men. Like, if they are secure in themselves, I think they might be okay with a woman earning more.
Because all these years, the biggest problem a man will talk about the society and societal pressure is how they have the pressure to be a provider.
Yeah.
So now that this is taken out of the equation and a woman in your life is earning more than you, will you let her like spend more on you?
But I think it depends if the man has a lot of ego or not.
Yeah.
I feel because like in your last relationship, he had a problem with you earning more than him.
Yeah, and he was very, very vocal about it. Like, I remember this one time that I had like a collab with Hayat.
Yeah.
And I was very excited about it because I really liked their property and I really wanted to have a lot of food and everything. And it was a very luxury, experiential stay sort of a situation. So I asked him, let's go for this. And he was not at all happy about it. And I was like, what is wrong with this man? Like, why would you not be happy about going to a place like that? And that too for free because we're not paying for it. And he literally told me that, I would be really happy to take you there provided I'm the one paying for it. I don't want to go as your plus one.
See, that's the ego.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. You have a problem because this is something I'm taking you for. Like, yes. You take shame in coming as my plus one.
Yeah, you should have broken up then.
Yeah, I did not break up then. That was not
that was
grounds for breaking up. That was just grounds for me feeling worse about what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think they do that a lot. Somehow make women feel worse about the things that they do. I don't know why they do that. It's like erasing a woman's identity, but in a very slow way.
Yeah, but all of these things said and done, I think last week I was watching this series and I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers. This is again, nobody wants this. I was watching this and the lead female in it kind of goes ahead to, like, first she's just bitching about another woman who's like married and has kids and everything, and she's like, what is this house and what are these kids, and these kids are so annoying and all of that, which we all do, by the way. Like, we see a married family and we also go like, these kids are so annoying, I don't want kids, this is such a sad life, look at the married woman, this is what your life is going to be if you get married. Like, we say that to each other a lot.
Yeah.
But this woman in the series goes like, you know what, I really want institution. This is what I've been rebelling against my entire life. But what if I really want this? And secretly, that is you, me, and everyone at some point of our lives. We want it if we are the ones who actually feel like wanting it. We don't want it if someone's forcing it on us.
Exactly. I feel if you give women the option and luxury to choose, we will be fine with a lot of things. It is because it is imposed on us that we do not like it.
Exactly. Like, I would definitely want to be married with kids if it didn't come with a timeline.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But also women have a biological clock. And they have to, if you want kids, then by a certain age, you do have to find a man. And then you have to marry them because there's only a certain, time for you. And this is the worst because men try to come during that time and waste your entire time. And then he'll be like, bye, I don't want to marry you because my mom said no.
Oh my God, what is with Indian mothers being obsessed with their sons? Like, I will never understand this obsession. Like, this really needs to stop. Like, are you that obsessed with your daughters? And even if you are you going to interfere in your daughter's life or marital life? You don't. Then why do Indian mothers think that it's okay to interfere in their son's love life?
I feel they've mothered them too much.
That now we as girlfriends also keep mothering them.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Did I just realize that?
Yeah. It's a pattern and we're all like involved in this pattern. But would you take your partner's surname? Just randomly, I'm asking you.
It depends on how good the surname is.
Really?
Yeah, like
you would.
Yeah, I mean, if it's nice, I wouldn't mind. There's nothing. If I could change my name also, I would change it.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
your
feel
name
there
is
is.
Vishnu Priya and my name is Malvika, and we have really sad names.
I feel like it's a very casual thing for me, at least. I don't know how it is for a lot of women. For some women, it might be like, oh, my identity is like a part of my identity is being changed by, like associating her name with someone else. But for some women, it's out of love. So it can be anything. For me, I don't care because I'm not going to get married.
Do you say that? Why do you say that actually? I'm very curious on why you don't want to get married.
Unless I am that into that person and marriage as a whole is adding something to my life, then it makes sense. But other than that, I don't see it making
So,
so
in a
much of
scenario where you're like really in love with someone and you are in a healthy relationship, the next step would be marriage in an ideal scenario. But what would it be for you? Like, would you just continue living with them or?
Yeah, if it works out really well and I have been living with them for a while, then maybe in the future marriage would make sense. Because I would really like to wear good outfits and get nice pictures.
Just get a bridal shoot done.
I want to.
That's why I did a bridal shoot, because at some point in my early 20s, it hit me that what if I never get married? And I actually did a bridal shoot and I felt better about
and your
myself.
mother said, give that back.
And my mom said, why are you doing a bridal shoot? Give it back. I was like, okay, whatever. Wear it for your wedding. And I was like, that's not happening.
Yeah, but it's crazy how a lot of people are going up to our parents and then giving like rishtas right now. They're like, I have someone for your daughter.
My mom straight up told someone that, I am never going to bring a guy to her. If she wants to get married, she can get married. But I'm not taking that responsibility because she's going to come back at me and yell at me if things go south. Which is very, very good. Something that's really commendable from my mother. Because that privilege needs to be given more to Indian kids.
Yeah.
Like, I think my family gives it to me and everyone else. But that's not there for a lot of families.
Okay, but I want to ask you, will you marry a person who is like going to be a stay-at-home dad?
Of course I would.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not? If they are driven about other things in their life and they have morals that align with mine and I'm in love with them, then yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine, no?
As long as you're not sitting at home and playing your PS5 and drinking beer. If
feel
you're
like-
working towards something, it's okay if you're a stay-at-home
I feel like
person.
it should be more normalized where male gender is like doing more nurturing roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it depends from person to person what they want. Like, I always thought that I always want to be with someone who's very, very driven because I kind of get that drive from my partners. So I wouldn't judge someone who would say that I don't want a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home husband. Like, that's okay. But more people in our generation are choosing to go child-free.
Yeah, I completely understand that and agree with it.
Even I completely agree with it. But then how does this whole biological clock scenario play in it where everyone's just pressuring you that what if you want kids?
Yeah, that's the thing actually. Even when I expressed it to my parents that I am not so keen on having children, like I am not at all a person who would want to, like dedicate my entire life to someone and nurture them. And I feel being a parent in this generation is extremely scary. Your child can be exposed to so many things, and I don't know if I can take the pressure of all that. Like, I will crack under that pressure because I can see what all children are exposed to these days from a very young age, and you'll constantly be scared, like as a parent. So I was telling my mom, I don't think I'm ready for that. And then my mom is like, you cannot say that. You have to have a child.
Yeah,
That's the thing. With Indian parents, it's in their head that as a woman, one of your most important duty is to be a mother. That is why, that's the path you have to take.
It's almost like something's wrong with us if we even walk into a room and tell people that we don't want kids. Or if a woman says, I don't have the maternal instinct.
Yeah, and because the first minute I said that, my mom was like, Mandairi, don't say that. And then, yeah, she got so angry that I'm like, what did I tick off in you? Like, that's crazy.
Even your brother, when he was asking me about what do you think my sister wants to do with her life conversation, this conversation came up that you might not want children. He's like, no, that will change in her. He literally said that, and he is from our generation.
Yeah.
So imagine a man from our generation just throwing that comment out.
Does men think that all women want children?
They want. children, I think.
Yeah, I feel after a certain age, men actually want children. So they're like, I can put on my instincts onto them.
But on a very, very, very serious note, I feel like man or woman, if you're going to have a child, be very, very, very sure of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think if you're getting into a relationship with someone, both of you should want children.
Yeah.
Not just one person. And you shouldn't put the pressure on the other person also. Like if the other person doesn't want children and you want children, make a choice, walk away.
I think it's always easier walking away
Yeah.
than having to blame the other person that I want.
Yeah, imagine you want a child and you marry a man who doesn't. And your entire life, you'll resent him for it. And you'll be like, oh, I wanted and you didn't let me.
Yeah, but also with two people in a relationship, just one of them wanting a child and then them ending up having kids, that's the worst thing a child can go through, knowing that one of your parents did not want you. So don't make that decision. Like, I'm someone who wants kids, and because at this young age, I know that I want it at some point of my life, is why I know that if a person has to know, they will know it when they're young. Like, that's not something that will change immediately, I feel.
Wow, I don't know.
If you think you don't want it, probably you do not want it.
Yeah, but I can play with your kids.
If I ever have one. Oh my god, this is such an adult conversation. I am too young for this. Please don't make me do this.
Yeah.
You know, one of the most classic examples that I can give to explain how, as a woman, I've been raised differently than any other man my age, that you, me, or any other girl has had like proper issues with not having our privacy growing up in an Indian household.
Dude, I didn't have a lock in my room.
I was not allowed to lock my room for the longest time. The minute I would lock my room, they'll just be like, why are you locking the door? As if...
Yeah, like, can you believe that I had a door which can close and the lock was not there? It's just not there.
But did your brother have a lock?
No. So
He didn't?
It's fine, yeah. So.
But that's the other thing. Like, my cousins or like the guys that I know, they get to lock their rooms. They get to go
So generally,
out.
I think guys do get to lock their rooms. But it's weird because apparently, according to people, women need privacy. But somehow women can't lock their doors.
That is so contradictory, because even if I'm like talking to a girlfriend of mine, even when I was in school, I had to do it in my mom's phone and within her ears range, so that she also knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I used to have a landline in my house, okay? And when I used to pick up and talk from upstairs, someone would pick up from down always. And they will sit and listen to my conversation.
I think I have mad respect for people who have like managed to date in their school lives.
Yeah,
like, how did you manage to do it?
I couldn't.
It's not that I couldn't or could. It's just I didn't have the option to because of a lot of other reasons.
I feel with Indian parents, it's very hard to date as a child. Like when you're in school and you have Indian parents, you cannot date anyone. Like you just cannot, because they will fully watch you the entire time. And the minute you're out of school and like going to college and just like, fresh out of college, they'll be like, let's get you married. So who do you have in mind? I'm like, whoever I had in mind, you didn't let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm telling them, yeah, this girl married, that guy married, they're all married, their school crushes. They're like, what about you? I'm like, you didn't let me talk to him.
I've like overheard conversations that my relatives and my mom and all have had, where they're just discussing, and I'm very, very sure my life has also been discussed this way. It's just I've never had the chance to overhear it. But they're just randomly discussing a girl's life, and they would probably talk about, oh, she is 28, she's gonna turn 29, she doesn't have anyone to marry, that's so sad. But when she was 15 and she was holding a guy's hand and walking around, you guys were the people who were like, oh, she was so shameless, characterless, why is she with a boy?
Dude, this happened when I used to take private buses when I came from school to my house, okay? And some auntie went and told my parents, someone gave your daughter a letter. And then my parents got full furious and all. They started scolding me. They were so angry at me. Like, who gave you the letter? You took letter from some boy in the bus and all. And I am like, I have no idea. I literally just took the ticket from the conductor. That's
oh my
it.
God.
And some auntie has said this to my parents. Like, imagine you can't do anything without being blamed.
It's so funny because every time, even now, I think if I like step out in my hometown, someone from my family is going to get a phone call saying, I saw your daughter here, just letting you know. Why do you think I will not tell my parents and walk around in my hometown? Obviously, I'll tell them, it's a small place.
It's such a weird thing to do. But I think also men have it really tough during childhood because they are also trained in a way and brought up in a way that don't open up emotionally. You have to be strong. Men as a gender, they're collectively told, be a strong person. Why are you crying? Why are you like a girl? Don't cry. And that's such a fucked up thing to tell a small boy because that will stay in their head until they grow up and they will keep all their emotions in. Like Indian men are taught not to be a man but how not to be a woman. And that sucks.
That I think this is how they kind of grow up to be men who like that's
emotionally closed off.
I don't want to be that deep. I don't want to talk about it. I don't talk about things.
I think as men should generally be encouraged to emotional openness because I don't think they have from their childhood. I don't think they have been encouraged that.
Yeah, and I think the lack of it is also what brings communication gaps in relationships, and that breaks relationships and marriages.
Yeah, that's very true actually.
So like so much focus on raising your girl child right, put a little bit brains into raising your sons also.
Yeah.
You are going to make your girls' lives better, I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like every time it's not the same for raising a girl and a boy, and I feel that should change a little bit. Like you would ask me to not sit with my legs open, but you wouldn't teach your son not to stare. Like that's a drastic difference you're creating there. I feel you should teach them the same things. Why shouldn't a girl be sent out at night and a guy can? You should keep your guys at home. Guys are the ones causing problems.
I have this crazy incident again from my relationship. My God, now I realize that it was so toxic that I was just casually having this conversation where I was telling my ex that, I want to wear a bikini because I was not confident in my body. I've still not like worn a full-blown bikini. I was telling him that, I would really like to be confident in my body to wear a bikini. And he was like, I hope you don't post it on your Instagram. And I'm like, if I grow confident enough to wear a bikini, it's definitely going up on my Instagram. Yeah. Why wouldn't I post?
It's for the gram.
Exactly, because that's like a major achievement that I like myself and my body so much. Because it's like you have a public profile. I don't want people from my family and the men from my family seeing you like that.
Why? Then you should be scared of the men in your family.
So I asked him, are you implying that I need to ask you what I'm allowed to wear and what I'm not?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, obviously not. You can wear whatever you want to, just don't post in it. Because I don't want other men in my family seeing my partner like that. Ooh. And I was like, wait, I am okay with the men in my family seeing it. Why do you have a problem with yours?
Yeah, keep your unsolicited opinion in your pocket.
And that was like a full-blown conversation and a fight.
Yeah, but also I feel it's because in Indian homes, even if a relative is coming over, they'll be like, go put your dupatta, shawl it. And that's so crazy. Like, are you scared of them? Then don't let them into our house. And I hate this when my grandmother, this is such a crazy argument I've had with my grandmother when she is like, don't wear shorts and walk around. And I'm like, why not? Your brother and father is there. I'm like, so are you scared of them? Should I be scared of them? Then you tell me right now. And she's like, it's not like that. Don't talk back to me. I'm like, no, you can't end the conversation like that. You tell me, why are you asking me not to wear shorts in my own house where I am comfortable just because my father and brother is there?
Are your legs going to be too distracting for your own family? And that's such a sad statement to put across.
Yeah, if it is like that, then you should raise them well. Like, didn't you raise your son well enough then? Who are you scared of?
I think women contribute so much to it as well.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
My mom, who is an example of an independent woman, she casually just puts across this word called adjust. You have to adjust as a woman. I've heard her say this to a lot of people. She said it to me so many times. Yeah. And I don't blame her because that's the conditioning she's gotten.
Yeah.
But why do I need to be the one adjusting?
Like something my mom has actually casually told me is, you are a girl. That means you have to go to someone's house someday. So you have to learn to adjust. Hello, I will build my own house and stay there. I'm not adjusting. I have one life. Like, I don't understand why we are taught to adjust. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, your whole life is so that you can go to another house and then adjust there. And I feel very sad that our moms had to think that way, because that means that they had to do it. Like, they had to go through it. And they're just preparing us for that life, which is just completely sad. Because even as a mother, even after work, like you said, they come back, they cook food. After cooking food, on top of that, they have to serve food. On top of serving food, they have to eat last.
It's so sad because I've seen my like mom come back from the hospital and my dad will just be like, make tea. Where's the tea? And my mom would just be like, can I just lie down for 5 minutes and then go make tea? And that's the most saddest thing I've seen growing up.
It's the most absurd thing.
It's so absurd. And then my grandmother will come from one corner and be like, what are you making for dinner? And this woman would have been home, my grandmother would have been home the entire day.
Like the funniest thing, like I will tell that my favorite thing to do is to school my father. Literally, like whenever he says something that is even slightly patriarchal in any way, okay? Like he might ask my mother, go bring the tea from the kitchen and all. I'll be like, you go bring it. You go to the kitchen. And he's like, well, I don't really enter the kitchen. That's not my place. I'm like, why not? Then no food for you. Food is in the kitchen. No food for you. I really like schooling him like that. Like, I think as daughters and sons, we should teach them.
As a daughter, I think growing up, one of the worst things probably that I did, which I know it is wrong, but at that point, I think that is my form of rebellion, that my mom would be so tired in the kitchen. She would be like, can you come help me out? And I would see my dad also casually sit there and not help back then. So I will be like, why are you not asking him?
Yeah.
And she'll be like, why should your dad help me? Why can't you come and help me? So I would be like, no, let him do that.
Exactly. I think we have to do that. But I don't think that in a modern relationship right now, we would take that. If I'm cooking the food, then the guy will be washing the dishes. I think it's very equal gender roles right now. And I think as we are going on, gender roles are expanding and it is shifting also.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not, gender isn't in two boxes also anymore. It's completely expanding. It's a whole spectrum. And coming to that, I think we need to make some room for South.
Exactly. And today we have one of our favorite recommendations. Like, I loved watching this movie. I know an obvious recommendation in this scenario would be to ask you to watch Great Indian Kitchen, which is again an excellent watch. But this particular movie is also a very fun watch. Like, it's not a serious movie. Like, you don't have to like be like holding your breath and watching it.
But also it highlights a lot of really serious issues in a very comedic and fun way.
This movie is called Jai 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 Hey. It's starring
Basil and
Darshana.
Yes.
And it's an amazing Malayalam movie. It's funny at the right points. It's very, very serious when you actually look at it, because it's talking about physical abuse in marriages.
Yeah.
It's talking about casual sexism that goes on in Indian households.
Whatever we spoke about, it's all there.
Even the way a girl is raised differently than a boy.
And even the relationship between a mother and the son, and how over involved she is in the marriage to a point where it's actually affecting their marriage.
Exactly. It's a great watch. It's a fun watch. Please go watch Jai 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 Hey and let us know how you feel about it.
Yes, and I think we've come to the end of our episode.
So if you liked our episode, like, share, subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram, Lost the Plot the Pod, and also our Instagram.
Also, you can find us on Spotify.
So see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.